FMA Talk Live. I'm your host, Dr. Tim. This is my wonderful co-host,
BG Taz here. Welcome, everyone.
Hope everyone is doing well. So if you're watching, let us know what part of the world you're watching from. And, and as always, we want everyone to be part of the dialogue here. This is not a monologue. Sometimes it ends up because no one's got anything to say or no one tunes in. Although, no, people always tune in.
There you go.
But nonetheless, we like to have that interaction because it definitely leads into great conversations and sometimes inspires us to look at things we haven't thought about ourselves. So before we get into today's topic, Mr. Hiltz, how you doing?
Hey, sir, how you doing? Way up north. He's probably even colder than you.
Yeah, so speaking of cold, how cold is it? Well, I'll let you know how cold it is here. So I flew home from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Bobby and I were teaching together, which had a great seminar.
Good.
And then we had a tournament the day after. I got home around 12:45, 1 o'clock. Got to bed at 2:30. And then, of course, I had to take my car to the garage to have some routine maintenance done. Not so routine maintenance. The nozzles for the squirters had snapped. So they had to, the nozzles were fine. The tubes leading to it. And it was way too cold. So I dropped that off and then I walked home or walked to the school from there. It was -8 this morning. So, -13 Celsius. That's like 20 degrees. Here we go. Dave, he's watching from LA.
Great. Good deal.
All right.
Excellent.
Any places? Filipino martial arts. I don't. Joe Pagan is out. Wait, no. Is it Joe Pagan? Mr. Pagan. Hold on. No. Roberto Pagan. Why did I say Joe? Roberto Pagan's out there. He and I get along. We met face to face. He's a nice guy. I cannot comment on his ability because I haven't seen him on the floor, but and here
I think Joe Cardenas is somewhere out there too.
Okay. Hey, and with everybody, I'm working on putting a network or a database together for Filipino martial arts. So this is Roberto Pagan. We have had him on the show, but he's down in the Metro LA area. There's probably others out there.
No doubt, for sure.
Yeah, there's a few. There's the Inasano Academy.
Sure.
Oh, Mr. Makita.
Right.
What the hell? So, Mark Makita is down there. I'm going to share this too. I'm going through the list. He's not wearing the mohawk, by the way. I say that because that's going to be on the screen here. So Mark Makita, that's what he's looking like these days. Done some industry work, trains people who does industry work. Got a cool school. Yeah, let's look at what he's doing here. So, a couple of his people doing things.
Good. I don't know if Grandmaster Reno Balanado's down in LA. He used to go up and down from LA to Seattle-ish. I'm not sure if he's
Who is that?
Reno.
All right. Oh, and then here's the first guest for the year. We just need to find a time. Senior Grandmaster Harry Green. So Harry, I'm thinking March, if that's good for you. It would be 8:40 p.m. our time, which would be 5:40 p.m. your time on a Monday night. How does that work for you, my friend? And I happen to have my calendar right right over on this side of the screen, which is that side of the screen for you guys. Yeah, that could work. But let's try to lock you into something there, my friend. Let me see. Vernon, how you doing, sir? You see, obviously they like me better today. I'm just joking. This is cool. No, he doesn't have a cool school.
I think the point is he's probably those pictures were taken at a different school.
Yeah. He's got a new place. New place now.
Maybe I don't know.
Mark students. Are you sure about that? I don't know. Okay for me. Good. How is March 2nd, Mr. Green? Well, then let me see here. So now I'm curious. Okay, so I'm going to disagree with Lee because I'm looking it over on my screen over here on the right, which is a little hard to share over here. I'm watching his people do moves. Now, that's done in his school because he's got a new school. I can see the artwork that he's been working on as of late. So, I mean, here's more, unless you know something that I don't, but I mean, could be a seminar. Here's the students right there. That's the new background at the new studio he's got because he lost the original one. So nice gorgets. That's a good move. So you can actually poke each other. So there you go. Yeah, and there's his new studio. All right. So there's a couple of people down there. Get back into here. And then Harry, if you just Facebook Messenger or send me an email to datutim@gmail.com, and I can, just whatever the best link is for you. Do you get my post? Did you get my post? I'm not sure what you're. Oh, hold on here. Did something come in that I don't know? Okay. Yeah, it'll be 5:40 your time, but yeah. I guess. Get my post. Okay. I'm a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. All right. So, so I went to the My Fest this weekend. It's a Tang Soo-do group that also does some doce pares. They had a stick fighting tournament. Well, they had a martial art tournament. Stick fighting was part of it. Very good here, Mr. Green. Yeah, I'm gonna need a photo of you or something like that. Then put something together. But you can always actually. I'm gonna see if I have you in here. And I was hoping you would log in tonight. Actually, I'm just gonna send you. What's your? Okay, yeah. Okay, you can send me anything on Messenger. I'm just going to need a Harry. I'm going to need a photo and then an email to send the invite to. So, and we use StreamYard, which is a really good platform. It's you get a link, you come in, done. Yes, I think Vernon, we actually talked about how you had your like. Yeah, for those who didn't know, Vernon had his leg cut off, although I wasn't going to share that. Thanks for sharing so people have a better text, and understand that you've got dark humor like we do. Coping mechanism.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, good. I got him. All right. I got it, Harry, and I will send you a link once we get that show set up. So I've also got next week's show worked out. And then a few things, but we had a great time. They took me out shooting. We went through 2,000 rounds of ammo. You know, hit the target every time. Not as good as the people around me. But then again, I haven't picked up a pistol in probably over a decade. So I was very pleased. I have used the T4Es that we use, which is a CO2 marking system. It's a Walther PPQ is what I have, and it will shoot paint, chalk, and rubber rounds, which is great. And I'm very accurate with that because it doesn't have the kick of a regular firearm, or at least we were shooting with 9mm. Oh my God. I was shooting with $2,000 guns. It was amazing.
That's always fun. Yeah, no, that's good. I got back out there.
And I didn't pay a dime for it. I'm like, of course, TSA didn't like me when I came through because they didn't like my tactical pen. It's a Goobaton. Yeah, but so is my flashlight, which is a regular flashlight. And you go, any metal barrel pen. Yeah, but it's not this one. I'm like, so I had to have them yank my luggage and go through all this nonsense. It was a pain in the ass. First time in a long time. And the thing was, I had the pen all put together. So if I would have flipped it and had the pen sticking out, it probably wouldn't have been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It is the first time I was stopped in the United States with that pen. You know, like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. So yeah, but and then, you know, I go through that. They flag me. I go back out. I wait like 30 minutes for my luggage, and then I go back, and then I get randomly flagged again. Go figure. And they do the swab, and I'm telling them, like, hey, I was shooting on Thursday. Oh, don't tell me that. I'm like, well, no, if you get gunpowder, I want you to know what I've been doing. I want to tell you ahead of time. And then Glenn Spence was at the tournament with us. He does Padoya Eskrima, and he gave me one of his swords. So first of all, let's share a little here, little something here. So here we go. So these are all the firearms we played with. 2 Glocks, a bunch of SIGs, and then there's this beast down here. So this is a 2019. It's a actually it has it right here. So I'm not sure Bramba's brand, but it's got a safety right there in the grip, which I thought was really cool. It has the optics we're playing. Optics are interesting. It took me a while to adapt to them. I'm more of an iron sights kind of guy, but it was cool. So I mean, here's this box over here is where all the ammo was. So okay, there we go. So we shot different things, you know. So I went for the small targets. So this is a target over the main target. So the white target, I was shooting at 5 yards. I did okay. Then when we went back to 15, that's when I really dialed in. So I was very happy with that. And we will not talk about why the United States Secret Service combat transitional target was there, but we will just say, okay, thank you. There's me at the range. I'll find out what's going on there. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay, so Glenn, here's Glenn. He's a Padoya Eskrima guy, and he gave me that.
What?
Now,
nice.
Let me see if yeah, that was badass. Hold on there. So all of his black belts he gives these. I guess I was promoted.
Well, but the good thing is that the working with and sharing, being friendly with the different styles again. Like
like we do.
Yep.
And it was we had a good time. And the funny thing is, like, I knew he worked with Grandmaster Tyrone at one time. I know him, Takashi, and I'm like, you talking Tyrone? You know Tyrone? Pulled up a picture, yeah. And then Charlize from my club. Her parents work with Grandmaster Tyrone in Hawaii. So that was kind of
small world.
So like, small world. But I had a blast. David Scrogg really had a good event. He had his organizational gathering the days before. Then they did the tournament. And then we had some meetings on Sunday before I came back. He is the Southeast representative for WCAF, for regional representative. So this is the last regional tournament for them. Spence was Glenn Spence is the Southeast regional director for GSBA, which is the offshoot. So it was cool that we could all play well together. And a lot of good things. I met some. I can always carry a pencil. And then it wasn't nice shooting. Actually, the guys around me were amazing, absolutely amazing. Putting holes in the target this big because their groupings were on point. I'm like, and eventually it's like, you should put another target up. Why? Because you can't tell if you hit it.
Right.
I remember the one movie where the guy goes, he flips the coin up and he shoots it. Next guy flips up and shoots it, and it doesn't move. I go, well, I won. Oh, wait, how do you win? You didn't hit the coin. I go, I went through the middle. So then they took a stamp from somebody, flipped it up, and shot through the middle. It was like, when you got that big of a hole, you can't tell if you're going through the hole or not. I mean, obviously he could. These guys, one guy was former. The instructor teaches all special forces guys and ICE and federal officers here and does this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, and work with some high speed operators. And it's like, okay, all right, sure. So, was treated very well the whole weekend. Went out for some K-pot afterwards, where it's Korean barbecue. That was the brand is K-pot.
Okay.
So, Korean barbecue. Yeah. It was okay. I mean, listen, I love the food. I don't like the work. I don't like cooking my own food. Right. And if I'm going to cook my own food, I want to cook my own food. I don't want to cook it partly. Like when I was in Germany, Mike Werner took us to this place, which was amazing. And it was a hunk. It's a stone that they throw on in the oven and they throw it on your plate. And then you cook your own meat off the stone. And there's a place here, actually up in Niagara Falls, USA. There's a place about 30 minutes from here. You could do that. And Janice and I were there. I'm like, well, this is what you would do. And like, yeah, it's too much work. If I'm spending that kind of money for food, I shouldn't have to cook my own food. And like, I hear what you're saying. So, yeah, but great time. Little delays coming home. And the big thing is just, it took me forever to, I came home and actually I did the graphics last night or this morning for this, because I hadn't done it. I'm like, we decided on the show, but I didn't do my work. So I got that done and, I'm happy. I'm not going anywhere for the next couple weeks again. On a sad note, I do want to mention, and maybe just a short moment of silence. Friend of our passed away, Jeff Espinot from France. I don't have all the information, and if they do a GoFundMe for expenses and stuff, I'll definitely share that with everybody. He's had health issues he almost died a few years ago. Had some health issues, obviously. went to bed, never woke up, and ultimately I think that's the best way to go. Painless. That's how my grandfather went, I don't believe that he's in a better place. I hate saying that mindset. I'm hoping he's in a good place, but everyone would probably say the better place would be with us. So, just if you do them, just, say a little something, little thought, little moment there,
I always like to think about good times with whoever are lost, because that's a good memory reinvigoration kind of thing. Kind of like a in your head wake.
And there you go. So, let's get into this. How's that sound?
Yeah.
So our show, I don't even know. The show is the actual title. I was actually looking for the formal title. As I put things together here. Actually, I could just look at our graphic here. If we go with this, the system didn't make you, the teacher did. So that's the goal. That's the thing we're talking about today. So a lot of people talk about this art, that art, and the other. My question is, was it the art or the person? I mean, and if you say, well, look at these people. Okay, so you can say Angel Caballas for Serrata, Leo Gahe for Pikiti, obviously Modern Arnis. Oh, by the way, who are these three people? I'm going to give you a couple of guesses. Okay, so who's the guy on the left with the ball cap? Or who's he supposed to be? Any idea of their tie?
Oh, me? That's small, really small on my screen. I don't know, maybe Gahe?
Correct. And the guy in the middle should be interesting. That's supposed to be Remy.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Well, so Henry, you can just send it to me on Messenger. And then the guy on the right is supposed to be Guru Dan.
I was going to guess that just because that would fit the trend.
So I figured I would do a ChatGTP flyer, and I wanted to have some. And actually, for next week's, I think it did a pretty good job. This week, but I mean, it was cool because you know what? It represented the arts. It was a neat graphic. It's eye-catching, and it's not the same thing I do every single time.
There you
go.
Yeah, I've played with that a little bit with Galaxy AI, their image creator.
Okay.
But okay.
I did not shave my head.
Did he just recycle his post from last week?
I didn't have my glasses on. LOL. Okay. Yeah, we missed that last week.
No, somebody said something like that.
Yeah. So, we've got a lot of styles out there that have a lot of street cred, but is the street cred from the practitioners or it's stars / founders?
Mm-hmm.
So, case in point, let's talk about. Matt says yes to both. We'll go with Modern Ernie's for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
No one would question Remy's ability.
Right. I've heard that consistently. Even when people are complaining about Modern Arnis, right? They don't do that to Remy.
No, but people make comments of the art. Now, Ty and I have both had the same situations where people in the FMA industry goes, "Are you sure you're modern Chinese people? Why? Because you're good." And we actually showed how the art works. Oh geez. Bernice J just passed away, Wally's wife.
Oh wow.
103.
Wow.
That's a shame. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. We don't know the context. It may have been. We always talk about there's bad things and then there's good bad things.
Mm-hmm.
If people are suffering, and 103, that's a full life.
Pretty awesome.
Getting back at it, we look at things. What would you look at Remy as modern, and Asano as Jeet Kune Do, and Bruce Lee. You look at all these systems. Are these systems any good? Or is it just the person who's at, I think in our case, we've proved that the system can work. But then again, is that because of our ability, or is it because the structure of the system?
I think one of the things to think about is that if any system has any sort of legitimacy based on not just its where it came from, but is it actually any good just by itself, right? Is it self-consistent? Does it do what it says it's going to do? I think any system can be, in that case, then really good or really bad, depending on both the teacher and, of course, the practitioners. Because just because you have a teacher, say Remy, doesn't mean you're going to be like Remy. So there's that fallacy. And there's other things. So just because you have a teacher like Gomer Pyle doesn't mean you're not going to be the next amazing person that people will say, hey, your art's really good, and it's really because of you.
Yeah.
So I always stress to people that it's more important to find a good teacher than it is to find a particular art, except for maybe if you have some preferences of things you want to do.
To be honest with you, I know modern works, and here's the reason why. Mm-hmm. Because I've had generation and generation of students come out of my club that have pressed people in the martial art industry, not just our people coming to visit,
right,
but going elsewhere, competing in tournaments, attending other people's seminars, visiting other schools, because at the end of the day, we still absolutely adore doing martial arts. So I will attend other people's seminars and not let people know who I am. Actually, it was kind of refreshing this weekend. The majority of the people at this event had no clue who I was.
Oh, great. Cool.
They didn't even know who Bobby was.
Oh, wow.
There was probably 10% of the room knew who we were.
Okay.
And the others were like, well, why are these guys here? As in like, they got to be somebody, because, Grandmaster Dave wouldn't bring in a schlub.
Hmm.
So what's the real thing going on here? So, I look at things. Okay, you take Remy, you put him in any art, he can make it go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Guru and Asano, Guru Dan he's another perfect example of that. Which, by the way, they were both born the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Something about 1936. They had some good martial artists there for some reason. So.
Yeah.
But what would, and I'm checking making sure everything's running over here well while we're talking too. What do we think? How many styles do we see that? It seems you hear about this. You hear about, like, say, I don't want to. Well, okay. Well, you hear about Remy Praces, and there's a huge disconnect between him and some of his students. Now, I would say in those cases, it was more of the cross trainers that the issues with. And seeing the majority of the art is cross trainers, a lot of people in the FMA industry don't know how to look at what's going on. So, like an example, we were in Finland. Dan Lohman and I were talking. Craig was there, and he asked me about a person because he was very underwhelmed. I was a modern East practitioner, and I said, "Well, you got to look at him with the right eyes." What do you mean? I go, "Well," and especially when I talked about the person, and if I gave you the name, you'd understand exactly who I'm talking about, or why this conversation came. I'm like, this person does multiple things, and by no means are they trying to carry the Modern Ernie's banner as their primary thing. They've got their own program, which may be enough hints for you to figure out who I'm talking about. It is definitely FMA centric, but it is another, it's more of a hybrid program with this, that, and the other thing. And a lot of the other things are not necessarily Filipino. So I said, listen, you got to understand, there's people who do it as a standalone art like us, and it was Craig and myself, which he said, Dan, Tim, you guys are on point. Oh, but I go, but that guy in question, he does it as the art within your art. He's doing this as a secondary system. He's not doing it as a primary system. So Remy was able to do something that a lot of others couldn't, and that was increase someone's ability by enhancing them with fundamentals from the Filipino martial arts without compromising the integrity of that base system. So he made what they were doing better, but didn't try to turn them into Filipino martial artists. And I think that's where sometimes you get this, it's like, well, like if someone cross trains with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and it changes their ground game significantly, doesn't make them a BJJ practitioner or a good example of BJJ. They just did a little something to level up what they're doing.
Yeah, you could sort of choose your own adventure with him if you wanted to take it so that you were just, taking what he could give you and insights and all those things that he shared, and you could take them and make yourself a better martial artist. He was all for that. And also, if you wanted to take everything you're showing and take as much of it and be as focused as you wanted to be on Modern East, he was all for that too. Which was great. But yeah, it led to a little bit of a disparity because different people had different goals and expectations, and it was all good, all part of the process, and got a lot of exposure that way that others weren't able to do.
Well, here's a perfect example. I do my own little variant of pushing hands. PG Tai is a specialist in pushing hands, or that whole lane of internal energy and stuff of that nature. I would never put myself on the same level. I will have a higher level of ability of the norms, but not to those who are specialists. We can talk about power generation. If we do it internally, actually, on the way I was flying down, I coincidentally sat next to a martial artist who was, and then he goes, "Listen, feel this. Now feel this. Now feel." We actually went off to the side and we did some energy stuff, but not too long, so people didn't like, "What are you guys doing?"
Nice. No, that's always fun when you can do that.
Yeah. So, but it's different. It's not the same. It's so And that's the problem. Like when you look at a system, you got to know what you're looking at. And when I was around Remy's people, I never felt that they were great Filipino martial artists. But Remy took some good, solid martial artists and made them great. And I mean, here's someone who's great and just took it to another level of greatness. Ron Browning. You know, here Grandmaster Sansu Kung Fu trained Guy Metzger to become the UFC champion and cornered him. Did all this stuff. Does Thai and wrestling and BJJ. You know, name it. He does it. And he defers to Remy because Remy taught him how to flow differently and do stuff. And it's more than just swinging a stick.
Yep.
And when you look at Ron, you do not see Remy's art in his expression, but he would always give credit for all the stuff that Remy did to help him to take it to that next level. So,
yeah, and I really appreciate that, especially, you know, as you already said with who he was, but also that full attitude of doing it that way and making it clear what the expectation is and what the product is and where it comes from, and whether or not you're, you know, hey, I'm the best FMAF there ever is. No, that's not the point. No. He was very clear about that always, and is, and also a great guy. It all goes together, I think.
I do question how many of these arts would be practiced if it wasn't for their leaders. I mean, Modern East the same way. Remy Praces. Grandmaster Remy Amador Praces, the founder of Modern East, who's which the next show is going to talk about.
Okay.
So
our teacher.
Yep. And you know, it's so
that came about though when he passed, right? A lot of people left because it wasn't Remy leading the charge anymore, no matter which way you went. You didn't have Remy. A lot of people were doing Modern East because Remy was Remy.
Yeah.
And he was very good about fostering that connection, but also then, you know, if he's not there, that you know, where do you go from there?
So February 16th, and we're going to do this show. I'm going to share it right here. So I want to get your feedback on the on the graphic, by the way. So this is this. Now I realize that there's a guy that looks like a Green Lantern in the background. I understand that.
Cool.
FMA Talk Live. They call it worship. We call it family. And if you looked to the right, I don't know why the guy's got the mask on.
Nice.
I think I want to try something different with our graphics. I think the rest of this season, I'm going to try to do it all in more of a anime style or use ChatGPT to help generate some stuff, or any of the other platforms out there. You know, there's plenty of stuff out there we can utilize, but I want to do it. Who was Ron Browning your Kung Fu teacher for a while? Which would make sense because Jimmy Woo was in California, along with Gerald
Okamura.
Yeah, who created Dragon Fest, and I got to meet and put the two of them on the phone together, which was amazing.
Get back together. Yep. No, that whole lineage of Sun Tzu is interesting and fun stuff. Lots of good folks.
Yeah, I have to be rude here. I've been dying. I actually have food right here. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't like doing this, but
it's good to have another Kung Fu person on the line here. So you may not know, but I actually started Kung Fu before Modern East, and I consider them both, you know, primary arts for me. Although I teach anymore, mostly FMA, mostly Modern East. Keep my advanced students going in Kung Fu, so that's good. My style is Northern Shell and Northern Gray Menace because I know that's going to be your next question, as well as Young Style Tai Chi. Which, by the way, Tim, I'm enjoying the group is really digging all of the internal drills and stuff that I'm doing with them, which
I was just going to ask you that. So you beat me to the question.
No, they're really digging it, which is weird because I was thinking they might just be there to do it as moving yoga and just go through the motions and stuff like that, which I hate. But they're really digging that, so which is cool.
Oh no, Gary Stewart.
The rivals.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, all styles have these internal rivalries. I got it. Not a big deal. Hey, I mean, if you're outside, it's not a big deal. Inside, it might bother you, but I got it.
So, as an FYI, so Ty and myself have a lot of different backgrounds, and if people are ever looking for seminars and stuff like that, we're both available. I go into more of the Kuntao, Sikran, and Bando. And of course, the Balintwak. Ty is a phenomenal internal stylist with the mantis, the Tai Chi, and he's very, very big on power generation and using that to also augment your artiste too. So a lot of good information there. So there's my shame. He has shame. I have none. So I'll just do the plug right there.
There you go.
Hey, Tim. Mm-hmm. Did you see those videos? Yeah, I've been watching. Everyone's been sending me videos. So the sad thing here is not with this. Everyone sends me the same video.
Okay.
So there's this. It looks like could be a spec ops guy or some sort. What's the most dangerous martial arts? Filipino martial arts. I was doing this, and I called this guy over, and I did jiu-jitsu, and da-da-da-da. I go, oh, you got me a little here. I go, maybe you should look at all those marks a little deeper. And like, oh my God, shredded me. Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah. So we're actually going over blade work tonight. So one of the I've gotten the green light from Mr. Monologues. I want to be doing some OCC programs. On camera combatives, karambit work, because we all know how much I disdain karambit work. Well, I don't like. I'm not a fan of the karambit. I love the karambit, but it's that love-hate. I wish it was more. It's not that practical of a tool.
Karambit is like the nunchaku of this time period. Remember when nunchakus were all big when we were coming up?
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. And most people were not as good as they thought, and so then they would hurt themselves. Same with karambit.
Yeah. Oh, it's so easy to cut yourself. So let's see here. Sure.
I had a saying, and my best way to win a fight with nunchakus back in those days was go to your fight with that, and then give the nunchakus to the other guy, and you'll win the fight.
Yeah.
Or as we said in the old days, numchucks.
Numb. Yeah, because after you hit yourself, you get numb.
Right. Numchucks. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's I'm looking for. Yeah, I was actually getting a little chat with Ryan, and we're looking to do some OCC projects. And they didn't end up. Oh, that's right. They're in my other computer. It's a problem when you travel with different computers and you don't put them in folders. You just download something and you forgot that you downloaded it to what you're using there. So
your phone or whatever. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what's Hubbard doing here? I gotta stop him from doing something. Hold on here.
I'll take a question then. Lee was saying, I don't think nunchakus are a good weapon. Can you talk about it? For me, actually, I don't hate them. I don't like them for myself. But if somebody wants to use them and thinks they're good and uses them for the striking and the blocking and the tying up, right? Because you got the flexible piece in the middle, then maybe that's fine. I just don't love them myself.
Don't worry about it right me see if I can clean up what we
I actually think karambit's a little more of a problematic weapon, depending on the training, because of people not managing the hook and the blade really well in their training, depending on how it's taught. But again, maybe if it's taught well, maybe you're fine. It's just not one of my favorite things, including as a Chinese stylist, you may appreciate this with the rings in karambit, right? It's a great way to deglove your finger. And in Chinese styles, when we have a ring, we don't put our fingers through the ring, at least not in the styles I'm used to. So, so that is
felony just to own it.
In some states, yeah. Some states. Or even cities, but not federally. As far as I know. I'm not a lawyer, so don't blame me.
Consult a legal advisor that knows what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just my take since he was busy doing something.
Excuse me. Here's what I was looking for. Nope, wrong button. So one of our guys is in the movie industry, and I used to do some fight choreography and stuff like that, and then one of my students, lo and behold, created a program on camera combative. So I just say, hey, how do you feel? I'm thinking about doing this. And I created this graphic, and he's like, yeah, by all means. So
nice.
Things I'm working on, that was the first thing, and then it went into that. So, which I have to save a few things, and I've got a clear background one, which is this one right here. And then we'll get through the other stuff. I'll download that, and then I'll download this. So it'll be interesting because I know people will. Aren't you being hypocritical because you said you don't like karambit work?
Right.
Felony here. True, we don't.
That's for the degloving. Got it. Yep.
Okay. And then California, yes. So. Yeah, but they don't keep people in jail much, do they? They just let them out.
I used to live in California a long time ago, 4th grade, so I won't tell you how many years ago that was. A number. Same as your 4th grade, Tim. There you go. So
yeah, I gotta do some stuff. Bob is trying to sign things up for the Marshall Con stuff. So he's
going. I saw the flyer for that. It was good.
Yeah, so he's the he's the next guest. He's a printed author now.
Excellent.
He's part of a group, and he didn't self-produce it. I mean, he wrote it himself, and then now there's a book company that's actually carrying his, representing him and stuff like that. Karambit with mantis moves. What are your thoughts there?
I wouldn't, but that's me. Although there, at least in my mantis, we've got a crescent knife, which is very similar, but all the blades are in front of all of the knuckles, and it goes across the whole fist.
Okay.
So you could probably adapt that, but I would go why.
I get you.
But again, you're like me. I don't like karambit anyway, so it looks good. It's fun to play with, but I don't want to fight with it personally.
Worst state for self-defense.
California. Right? So if you have to defend yourself in California, you have to just give in.
Marshall Con includes all styles. Yes, it does. So what we're doing is I have I don't know how to say it. Let's see if this comes out right. I have a classic martial arts tournament. So it's got the fundamentals, weapons, form. Okay, traditional weapons, forms, and point fighting. Okay, those 3, right? But then we also have creative forms, armed and unarmed. Creative weapons, creative forms, extreme forms and weapons, which is flippy dippy, or music and stuff along. You got all that stuff, and then we have multiple Filipino divisions. Point and continuous style fighting.
Okay.
In the stick fighting thing, and then we have padded knife fighting divisions, Oh, David's down. David, hello from is that one of your guys, David Parker?
No, I don't recognize the name, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, Dave, I think Dave's popped in before. Dave, is this your first time, or I want to say that you've commented on our stuff before. I could be wrong. So, but the martial art tournament meets Comic Con. Now, no, Dr. Doom will not be fighting all challengers. That's in the MCU. That's not allowed for here. But I've got Will Hartke. He's done some of that Armored Combat League stuff and MMA cage stick fighting. Robert Hubbard, and he told me I was the only one that really noticed that. I mentioned to him. Robert Hubbard, he and I were the co-creators of Martial Talk, and then a spinoff of that was FMA Talk. These were two of the largest discussion group forums on the internet at the time of their style. V Bulletins was the way we were using it. This is before Facebook really blew up. Not the first time using Stuart. Yeah, I thought I recognized you, David.
Okay.
And then like a kung fu tournament, right? Yeah, it's the same thing. Just it's open style. So karate, taekwondo, kung fu, jiu-jitsu, that'll all be there. Yeah, yep. And then we'll do some we'll have at least 19 grand champion divisions set up. When it comes to fighting, we'll have at least single elimination point fighting. We might have round robin, or we might have double elimination. I haven't decided on that one yet.
Cool.
I gotta see what's what, and then so the cool thing is, here's what happens at times. You go to a tournament and you're the only person in your division. Have you ever had that happen? You're doing weapons and forums. Mm-hmm. Well, what they also do is then they take all the winners of these divisions and put them in grand championship events. So we have 19 different grand champion divisions. So I've had a bunch of my kids automatically come in first in their respective things, but they still got to compete against 7 or 8 other people,
right,
for grand champions. So
yeah, that's fun. It's fun sometimes. I had to do that once, where it was I was competing with a Chen style Tai Chi form, but all of the people doing forms, whether it's weapons, hard style, soft style, whatever, and of course internal, had to then compete for a combined grand champion of forms. So that was I did not win because it's not so impressive to people who don't know what they're seeing. But
right,
it was fun to do that.
Yeah, the cool thing is if you qualify, so you might qualify in your weapons and your forms.
Right.
So what they'll do is they'll put them in together, and you choose which one you want to compete in. Like in the one organization, every time you qualified, you got to compete. So I knew people who would do 5 forms in their grand championship. I'm like, you must be exhausted. Now they sit there and say, you got to pick your best one.
Nice.
Like, okay. And last year, it is officially last year. Last year, what we did is I gave away. It was also the Filipino Martial Art World Championship, but here were the Grand Championship. I had 4 or 6 mega belts. Because these were even big on me. So they look like a WWE style belt. Mm-hmm. This has got its plastic coating on there to keep it from being scratched. And then there was then had smaller ones for the other divisions. So but
and we did have
grand. What? Go ahead.
Lee question. Lee, he does have. They will have weapons fighting. So whether it'll be that'll be some of the point or the continuous, depending.
Weapons fighting will specifically be Filipino weapons. So it will not be a Chinese long spear against a padded knife.
Or nothing that Will's going to bring.
Yes. Yeah. So Will does the Armored Combat League stuff. Yeah. We've done some funny skits with that. Although the funny thing was, he told me I gapped him. I'm like, gap? Oh, okay. Because there's a gap in the armor. And I smacked him. I'm like,
perfect.
And he's like, oh, that makes sense. Well, why does that make sense? Because I did the same thing with Craig. I put a forearm guard on him, say I'm going to hit you on the forearm guard. Yep. I hit everywhere but the forearm guard.
Right. That's how training works.
There's one of the women who got a grand champion. This was in stick fighting. This is live stick fighting. The other was padded stick fighting. He came from New York City. She's from Virginia. That's one of Carlos's people. Jen's mine. There's another guy. Then Melissa. Oh, Andre. Our boy Andre. Love Andre from Niagara Falls. He was the Conograms champion. We had a blast. I mean, there we go. There's my boy. The two Canadians really kicked butt that weekend. So Andre and I've done seminars for him, but he's a self-made man when it comes to his Okinawan. We also take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu together as classmates. And the bastard tries to do wrist locks and finger locks to me all the time.
Perfect.
And the reason why I say that because he beats me to the punch.
Right, because it's built into our DNA too.
Yeah, there you go. So, hey, Mr. Wolf, how you doing?
Hey, PG Wolf. Hey, Sam.
No, because Dog Brothers is in a tournament. And actually, Craig, who won the stick fighting, he is a Dog Brother. But Dog Brother fighting is not tournament style. That is just two guys getting together. And Craig was just actually up at the Vancouver gathering this past weekend. So people misunderstand the Dog Brothers quite a bit. I mean, they're not right. Let's get realistic here. I mean, I used to do that stuff long before I ever heard of them. And people said that I wasn't right. And you know what? They're right. That's just a level of insanity that makes no sense. But hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Right. So you saw the one picture there, Lee, with the person who had the sort of the cloth armor on. That would be live stick, but not Dog Brother style. So that the armor takes the hits, and then there's of course the padded stick where the pads on the stick absorbs the damage for the masses.
Yeah. So it's cool stuff, but it is a little different.
I think you should spar all of the different ways, and including Dog Brother style, but the whole spectrum, because it gives you a different perspective all along the ways.
We used to do live stick, no gear, no headshots though.
Right.
And they weren't the sticks I would use right now. The sticks I use, so now that I make all my own sticks, yeah, they're not safe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want. Well, actually, Craig loves them. He fights, but he's just not right.
Yep. Yeah, he's working stiff, and he'll get his fingers or whatever broken and then go back to work and just fine.
Just go
right.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Okay, if you don't want to deal with them, that's fine. Well, you have to deal with my Dog Brother because and Craig is we went to the Philippines. I mean, see, we're a good team because I'm a really good coach, and when we did my tournament, I was able to. It was happening to be coincidental. I was just walking by. And when you run in our league, when I run the tournament, the whole idea is everyone runs my tournament for me so I can be the mayor of the town. Shake hands, kiss the babies. Or actually, I would kiss the hands and then shake the babies. But that's
there you
go. Almost no FMA here. Mark's schooling in Asano, yeah. So
I guess you have to go up more towards San Francisco and stuff.
Yeah. There's got to be something around there. I mean, just maybe not.
I'm pretty sure Joe Cardina is just in LA, maybe just south of LA.
Yeah. So
I don't know, but yeah, not a whole lot. Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, boy, we probably should get back to
the top. Yeah. So we'll talk about Marshall Con in a week. Maybe we can talk like half. Actually, we should go. This is all good. This is the cool thing about our show. It is organic and it takes us down paths and there's good conversations.
Sometimes the title or the purpose of the talk is just a conversation starter, which is fine.
Yeah. This is just us putting our foot in the door and go, where shall we go today? And then we go on what we do our Marshall Talk walkabout.
with help from the people that are chiming in the comments, because that'll spark us, or maybe we'll be able to help on something.
They do have open gatherings, though.
Yeah,
it's just that you need to be part of their network to find out about them.
Or know someone who is. Yeah.
You need it, and
And there's related things too. There'll be events that are Dog Bros style, but they're not actually officially Dog Brothers events.
I'm going to do the usual thing. I'll be right back.
Yeah, right. I had a couple thoughts back onto the topic that maybe I'll bring back up again. So
sure.
Remember the topic was, is it the practitioner or is it the art? And I think you kind of know sort of where I think we land. But there's a couple pieces of that I think expand upon that. So you could have a fairly commercial school, and if you do, and the style is perfectly fine, just been very historical, and maybe the teacher is cutting corners or doesn't have high expectations, whatever. It's maybe a McDojo, but the material is still sound. You can come up in that school, and most people will not bloom out of that, but occasionally you get someone who's going to do the work and get the most out of the training they have at hand, and then still end up being good. So it can also not just be, hey, why is this style famous? Because it's the person, or is the style? It's usually the person. But it can also be, hey, you can't be any good because you came from this lineage. Oh yeah, there's been some amazing people coming from fairly unrecognized styles, and it just happens. So it's the practitioner on the giving end with the teacher, as well as the receiving end, the student. So, and I think that's important because, hey, maybe you're not sure about your style, whatever your teacher, what they're teaching, but you can still put in your work and get the most you possibly can out of it until you hit a different opportunity. And I would encourage you to do that, right? Because you're there for a reason, to get something good for you. Why not do that?
Ultimately, I think it boils down to an art is only as good as a system of martial arts. There's system and style. System is is the methodology. Style is your personal expression. So when people say, what's your style? It's Tim Rue all day long. Okay?
Right.
Thai food, Tim Rue, it's all good,
Right.
But what is the formula? So I say Praces Sarnis, the Praces Brothers systems, heavy on the Remy side. And when you look at the other two systems, Kombatan and Henegran Arnis de Mano, those are derivatives of modern Arnis. So, and then I looked at the arts that helped contribute, and Ty's been part of some of it with us. We're currently, the two of us and others are currently training San Miguel Eskrima. Unfortunately, it's long distance at the moment, but we initially started off learning it in the Philippines with the grandmaster of this branch of the system. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to tease you because I know that you have some issues and stuff, and you know who cooked this, so it's probably really good.
Great.
Cool, a little frothing.
I do have a sweet tooth, yes.
I do.
Nothing else about me is sweet except the tooth, I guess.
Yeah, just the tooth. Okay. Okay, here we go. I mistook in the all I could practice, hard look, all the other styles, cross train, but stayed with it. Yep. You're right. You can make it work. Yep, there you go.
Awesome. That's perfect. That's a little bit my story. My Kung Fu school was fairly commercial, and there's no ding against it because that was the purpose.
Don't eat the snow. Okay, we know who that is. It's doing well. Listen, we should do an episode of why you chose the system you did. We're all going to have our favorite. And
right. Or maybe you had no choice, or is the closest because nobody has all the resources.
When it comes to the two of us, we've had plenty of options to leave.
Mm-hmm.
We might have plenty of reasons to leave too.
Or go into hermit mode. I went into hermit mode for 10 years?
Yeah. Remy died. There was the Modern Arnis Apocalypse, which I'm doing a video on that, which would be fun.
Okay.
I'm doing an article on that. I did not choose this ninja life It showed me. Thanks, Batman and the Ninja Turtles. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
So, Remy died and people left.
Mm-hmm.
People were there because people they met Remy and they wanted to be around him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he passed. It wasn't the same, so they went in different directions, And I mean, and like I said, life is a cult of personality.
Mm-hmm.
We all hang out together. We all do stuff together. We've got a family-like bond. My school is fairly centrally located to all. Actually, it is centrally located to all the action. Mm-hmm. What happens if I disappeared for whatever reason, or I retired? Now that meeting point is gone. If I'm no longer in the equation, how many of the people would stay together? Mm-hmm. And that would handle. When there's the matriarch of the family passes on, what happens? They either get stronger or they fragment more.
Yep.
And more often than not, they go on, when you're not going to your parents for Christmas anymore, or Thanksgiving, or any of the holidays like that, or church on Sundays, or football Sundays, or whatever it has. That's that sports ball thing, by the way, Ty, just so you know.
Okay.
Because they had that sports ball game yesterday. That was the big one. So.
Oh, I thought I didn't see any owls, let alone a superb owl.
Super sports ball.
superb owl. Never saw it.
So, but I definitely would like to, so over the years, people have opportunities. They see other things, and our industry, people talk about loyalty and all this other stuff. That's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. Also, you may not have gotten into it by choice, but by necessity or lack of selection, as you were saying. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. You still study to teach. So, but I think I would love to do I definitely want to go over why I like modern artiste as I think it's the best art out there. But that's based on my personal needs. Mm-hmm. And what I'm looking to do, and everyone has their own mindset and what and needs. So, most people okay, before the internet, the research the school was closed, but when someone dies, even a family stops talking to my mom. And yep, exactly. Later, they have and the founder is the glue that keeps the family together. And if you don't want to think glue, think he's the magnet. What happens when the magnet attracts all these? You see, it's not only glue, but it attracts people because it's a Marshall system. What happens when you get rid of the magnet? So, I love it when people say, "Oh, modern East has a lot of politics." Not compared to other systems, it doesn't. Well, why you guys fight it? Because Remy died. He brought us all together, and that's and you look at any system that has gone through that transition. Guarantee you. And if you're talking about Taekwondo and Kempo karate, we are pale in comparison to the drama. And I'm not trying to make fun of either because I've got people in both groups I highly respect and like.
No, it's a very human thing, right? When you got more than three people, you got politics built in, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And because people care.
Yeah. There you go. Personally, I think the thing here is this. You got to look at the system after the founder stops, or you look at the founder or the head instructor, the person who attracted you to that. Do you see those same qualities in the students? Mm. And there might be a huge disconnect.
Or maybe you see it in a few students and you want to go gravitate towards them. So then you have a new magnet, which is great.
I mean, I think we do a good job. Another person I think who does a really good job is Bobby Tabuada. Mm-hmm. When you watch his people, they're all, they can interact with each other and make all this stuff work. But now I will say this, which is going to sound a little off. I'm not trying to take a dig, but they are hyper focused on single stick dueling. Mm-hmm. I need something that's more all encompassing, and that's why I like modern East, because the only thing that it's weak on is the ground combatives, ground to ground. If you roll around on the ground, if you're wrestling, it just doesn't have that skill set. But it can punch, kick, it can lock and throw. We've got sticks galore, impact tools. You usually do that with edge weapons as well. Its weak spot. Well, there's two weaknesses. The weak spot of the system itself is the ground element. But I mean, there's plenty of systems that don't have ground elements in there. So I mean, that's not saying that that's a bad thing. The weakness of the system, though, is the fact that a lot of people just came into cross training and only learned part of the system. That is, I think, our bane. The art within your art mindset. I mean, and not that I don't teach it that way, because I still do for people who just want to learn disarming or just want to learn some volleys or, fill in the blanks. I do offer it for people because, I mean, we have good material and people if they want to learn. And I've had people come in that only wanted bits and pieces, and next thing you know, they decide to go all in.
Right.
But the way Professor was teaching while he was here, he didn't. I think he'd been around another 5-10 years with what we could have done with having mine as the only standalone school at the time. We could really push that mindset, and he wanted. I mean, we were talking about putting together a rank curriculum, belt by belt, for our people, and that would have been one step closer to having more people do it as a standalone program.
Right. Once you standardize it as a standalone thing, then yeah.
Okay. Let's do this one. Would you like to handle this one?
My quick answer to that is Arnis, Kali, Eskrima are all the same thing, except they're not. But they're basically that, right? So they're all going to be generally have some stick to them. Then there's the history of, is Kali a real word? That's a whole other thing we're not going to get in here. And then Eskrima is just mean fencing. Well, we could, but then we have to go down the historian route as well. But we had a whole show about that.
We did. So
Lee, here's also the deal. North and south. Some like the southern ones, they might say a different word more than the others. But yeah,
it's just like saying kung fu. How or karate. How vague can you get?
Right. As Lee would know, there's 400 styles or more of kung fu. Right. Yeah. What do you mean kung fu?
And here's what I will say. The word Kali, because we talked to a historian about this,
right,
is actually means to dig. So Filipinos right now are using it as a marketing gimmick because it's a cool, hot word. But at the end of the, or at least they think that is. But at the end of the day, and I have no problem with them using that for marketing, but don't say Kali is the mother art when the word was never even utilized there. So let's get
of the three words. That's the most of the three words.
Too many styles of kung fu. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, there are. But of the three words, right, for Arnis, Kali, Eskrima, the one that was coined the most recently was Kali.
Yeah.
If we're going to use it as a generic term.
But remember, Arnis is the national martial sport of the Philippines. So.
Right. And both Arnis and Eskrima come from Spanish, as far as the word goes. Arnis is the harness, right, the breastplate, and then the Eskrima is the word for fencing.
Give people power. You find out who the real person is. The restaurant sells, new owners, same location, recipes just feel different. You think if GM Remy had a standalone location, he would have been different. Everyone there doing their own thing.
Wouldn't have had the same spread, I don't think.
Here's the thing. Janice and I were actually talking about having him moving in with us for like a month, maybe 2. Goes away on the weekends, comes back. But it would be a limited time only. Maybe like 1 month a year, maybe 2 months a year, but 2 different times of the year. Because even when he went away, he'd still be gone for 4 days. So
almost every weekend.
Come in, do some laundry, and leave.
Yep.
He and I get to swing some sticks. I can field some phone calls for him if he needs me to. Tim, have you seen Remy? George, let me think. Oh, yeah, he's right here. Hold on.
Screen the calls, yeah. But he would sort of do that. He would hermit out for a little while at different places.
Right.
But he didn't, yeah. I think the standalone thing would have been harder for him to have the same spread as you know, Tim, right? Being able to get out and do the seminars you do, and will have as having the standalone location. That's a bitch to have balance both of those and get them right. But also with that lack of spread, right? We wouldn't have the same, if there's fewer people doing the art because you're just doing it around at the school. One, it's more standardized because you just have that same group with the same person all the time there. And you don't have probably wouldn't have the cross trainers, right? Because they're coming in. If you're going to join a school, you're joining a school. And so you're doing the whole program. So in some senses, it would be probably a little less varied and more probably obviously Filipino movement style. But personally, right, I would have missed out, right? Because, Texas was one of the last few places. And so I was living in Texas the time I spent with Remy. He probably wouldn't have got down there, right? Because if he had a standalone location, I would have missed out.
Well, here's what could happen. Nobody from the Philippines ever understand Kali, so I get it. But the martial artists do. but only the martial artists do.
Right.
They're like, doesn't that mean to dig? I don't see a shovel in your hand.
That's funny.
Here's what we're going down this rabbit hole. Here's what, if we would have had him for another decade, here's what I think would have happened. Okay. I was the Can-Am director of the IMAF, Canadian American director of the International Modernist Federation, had a newsletter, had all this other stuff, was managing the website, doing all these things. I could see Professor spending a lot of time in Buffalo, still being on the road, going all these different places, having a school that people can go to and go, hey, no one had the quantity and the quality of black belts that I put on. I'm not even going to sit there and say I'm better than everybody else. What I'm saying is I had a cadre of black belts in the club and some higher ranking black belts in the club, and testing back then was not this expensive, crazy machine that it's turned into these days. And, he was definitely leveling up some of the stuff he did. But at one time, if you went to camp, it was an additional $30, no matter what your rank was. Yep. And if you got 2 or 3 belts simultaneously, it wasn't 30 per belt; it was 30 for the test.
Yep.
So, so there was never this selling machine. It was an add-on sale for the camp. Have 100 people at camp, charge $30. There's an extra $3K. All right.
It goes straight to Remy, that part.
Went right to Remy. Now, if it was 300 a person, or if it was 100 a person, well then now it's 10K. But we weren't doing that, At the end, he was getting a little more, Yeah, we do. And actually, Dos Parras does, and other systems do too. Remy was the first to do that, and others always do.
In fact, it's in his first book, the whole ranking structure.
Yeah. Yep. So, but we're definitely digressing here.
Well, we've gotten lots of good questions, so that's good.
No, we did.
I appreciate your interest, Lee.
Yeah, Lee definitely would love to. We gotta have you be part of our show in the future, as in coming and making some comments like this, and maybe even have you as a guest with us, because it's cool to have people who ask questions. The thing here is our guests don't have to know what they're talking about. They could be just on the show live asking us questions.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Works perfect.
Yeah, I know. You and me both. I don't want we don't want to. I'm trying to look something up here. Yeah, but with everything said and done, you know, we just need to have, I mean, like I said, I would love to get more people on our show as guests. And even if they're like, oh, what do I have to offer? You could ask questions. Simple as that. Okay. I love all martial arts. I do. So do I. And I love making fun of BJJ.
Which you train in and you love.
I train in and I love to make fun of.
There's one martial art I don't really love.
What's that?
Choryok.
What's Choryok?
Choryok is that, remember that Russian guy who moves all spastic and...
Oh, him? That's what it's called?
Yes, Choryok.
Okay. All right.
So that's down a nerd rabbit hole for sure.
There we go. So, ultimately, I think, I'm trying to find Mr. Lee's, Mr. I don't even know if it's a Mr. or Miss, the profile up on Facebook here, because I'm seeing the person, but I'm not seeing the person. You know what I'm saying? There's ways I can.
Shows up in the comments, but not on the search.
Yeah, you and me both on it, but there's a way to do it. There's always a way. Always a way.
If I found the right one, they're definitely you're into.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Environmental, animals, human rights, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
see, we tracked you down, Lee. Sorry.
Yeah. So my mindset is that there are good styles out there, but I think for the most part, we're looking at the people doing it that attracts us. And a lot of these people could be doing anything. Oh, he's also a shadow blue belt. I'm a blue belt in from underneath indirectly from Helio Soneca. It's Jerry DeSano out of Canada, because I'm on the Canadian border, and his teacher is Helio Soneca. So Jerry's a fourth through him, and that's why too much.
So you guys are brother blue belts.
Brother blue belts. Okay, I know the crazy mofo is so hilarious. Okay, good. So so ultimately, I think it's the person that we really should be looking at there, or that really gets people going. Now I think I think we'll do another show on why you picked the arts that you did, because
that would fill in the holes. Yeah,
because you know what the thing here is, it's not what's the best, it's what's the best for you. And if you are a person who has stuff already in your martial DNA and you're not looking to learn a new style, Lee has shared some of my videos on his Facebook page as I stalk him. But the thing here is that I'm doing this as a whole art because this is what I do. You might have someone, I really want to do blade work. Ours is probably not ours is passable, but it's not the best one to go to.
Right.
If you want to do more edged weapons, there's our friend Dean Franco. He's got a program, but I think that's more edged weapon defensive tactics.
I think so, yeah.
If you wanted to do something more, have more offensive capability, and not necessarily to develop you as a fighter, but maybe just as a martial art. I was doing blade work today in school. I was actually doing karate work, so we did knife in the back grip, and I'm doing all these tie-ups and tying people up. And the goal it's not about the knife, it's the tool. I'm just using this tool to manage the body. Then I got all that same thing as I put the knife down and did that same level of manipulation without the knife in my hand. having the knife in my hand like this, I had this hook that was easy for me to push the arm around with. And once I got to it, okay, now here, well, you open your hand up and do the same thing. But you've got something in your hand that you can't or don't want to let go because you may need it, like the keys to get away or something along those lines. Well, how do we utilize that and do stuff like that? So to me, it's less about the prop and more about the motion, the action. But you might have people that no, I need some edge weapons. I need defensive against edge weapons. I want to do sword work, and it could be a want, not a need.
Right.
I
like most styles of kung fu, but why did I end up with Northern Shaolin? Because that's who was near me, and it fulfilled all of that thing. I actually started in Southern Shaolin. I actually started in Hung Gar in Southern Shaolin, and then I moved away because I started in Malaysia and found my teacher in Mantis and stayed with him ever since. It's because I found a good one that fit my needs, and it wasn't like the old one that fit my needs, but it was still good.
And Lee absolutely agrees, by the way, because he's a smart man. He thinks we're cool. Well, I'm paraphrasing. This is me paraphrasing. I got to placate my ego because I need to hear. Or unless Lee's going to say he thinks we're cool too. So, hey, John, what part of the world are you from? Because I make and sell my own sticks, but if you're in another part of the world, I would recommend somebody because I'm in the States. I'm specifically Buffalo, New York. And actually, I am going to start shameful promotions.
Not of people, but of goods and services.
Goods, yes. I'm going to start. We're going to start having an item of the week. I'm going to be highlighting, just in general. Take some photos.
I tell people to still get a hold of you because you'll ship sticks out, I believe, right? In the States.
I'll ship pretty much anywhere in the United States. So, and look at that. You're very cool, guys.
Wait, did
we
you
are officially approved by Mr. Lee?
That's pretty good.
We've been endorsed.
But whoever asked the question, John, yeah. If you're looking around, you find on your own, I would recommend you get sticks that have the skin still on. That's the first thing you should start with.
Oh, here's another guy we know, Professor Adam Deluxe.
Oh, that guy.
That guy, we know him.
Yeah, we know him. Yep.
I heard a clown don't eat snow. It told me I need to be a good guest on a show. And that clown owes me $20.
Adam's a fun guy, and has a great school. Where is that? Is it North Carolina? I can't remember.
No, he's in the Metro Detroit area.
Detroit. Oh, okay. Well, why did I think?
Adam, give your school a shout out. Where are you at? Where are you at, bro?
I met him through you in New Jersey at the Action Martial Arts thing.
Yeah, I think he was there. Adam's been all. Adam turns up everywhere.
Does he? Okay. Is he trying to be like Lyman?
No. There's only one Lyman.
There's only one Lyman. Who's awesome, by the way, also.
Yes, he is. So May 1st through 3rd will be the Remy Praces Memorial Camp, the original Remy Praces Memorial Camp. It's the 25th anniversary of his passing. Now, it's actually August 28th, but we are doing our yearly camp, and we have a different theme every year. This year is the final memorial of Professor, because the rest I want to do is celebration of life and the life after, his art moving forward. So this year will be the 25th anniversary of that. Next year will be the 70th anniversary of the art.
Awesome.
And I'm pushing to have 70 levels of black belt. I don't think we're going to get 70 promotions. Hopefully, maybe globally in our organization, we can do 70 black belts. But it's going to have to be globally. So I'll be doing a Canadian camp next year and doing testing up there because I understand. I mean, it's close to 40 cents on the dollar, that they lose. And actually possibly by then. And I got to tell you about our guy there. I'm a hemorrhoid. I'm like a hemorrhoid, a pain in the butt, hard to get rid of. I got to tell you, follow up about our test that we did. Good thing about it. So, but so if I do this, so $1 Canadian is $1.35 Canadian. Let me swap this here. Yeah. So if let's say it was a camp's usually $300, it's like an extra $100 for them.
Wow.
Yeah. So if we can do things in Canada, we can keep it in Canadian funds, keep the money down. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is what I was waiting for. There we go. This is it. Deluxe Karate University voted the best martial arts in Detroit by WDIV NBC Detroit 2010, 11, and 2023. It must not be that good if it missed all those other years. What happened from 11 from like 12 through 22, bud? 30 minutes north of Detroit in Shelby Township, Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some of that was COVID, right? But not the first few years. But that's awesome. Like Adam.
Adam's our friend, and we like picking on him. But if you're in that area, by all means, give him a shout out. Check out his place. So it's the man, not the machine. No. It's the person that brings people in, although some arts have more to offer than others. That's going to be a future conversation. Specifically, why did you choose the art that you did?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you why this is the best art for me. And then you can tell us why your art's the best art for you.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Jeremy, a little 12-year slump.
That's true. There are. Yes. Sports ball teams, yes.
Sports ball. Yeah. Sports ball.
No, it's funny because I actually started Modern East as almost what you would call a cross-stringer. And then I met Remy. And I go, well, okay, now this is one of my this is a primary art, man.
Yeah.
Touched hands with him, and it was all she wrote.
Yeah. Not that you turned your back on what you're already doing.
No, get that up. I can do both. There's enough for me to go around, especially nowadays. But not rubbing it in. Oh, I just got our PG Chad's retirement thing today, which is cool. I know we can't make it, but
is that Terry Dow's?
Yeah.
I got to put that up on the. I got to put that up on my schedule. Because Terry's, that is.
Yep.
I need to make sure I get things together.
I'll celebrate with Chad at a separate time.
Yeah, Craig wants to know. Yeah, I mean, when we get back together with him, we'll hook him up. And then we'll do some other. Let's see what we got here. First year people could vote one time. Second year, one time per week.
Oh.
Okay.
So the voting rules changed. Okay. And then you got back there. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I figured you didn't get worse. I figured there was something weird, so no big deal. But we're just giving you crap because, we love you.
With martial arts from the voting categories. Okay. Yeah. So, we'll see what's what, But ultimately, I think this is good. So next week, let's talk about the show real quick. Well, actually, I mentioned it already, but let me just reiterate it as I bring up my stuff. Let me get there. Looking for the graphic. I don't see it. Did I not move it? Okay. Oh, I may not have downloaded it, so let me just do it this way. I shall do this. Open Sesame. This one will get up a lot quicker. Yes, here we go. No. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So Here we go. Once again, do not mind Green Lantern in the background. FMA Talk Live, February 16th, 8:40 p.m. They call it worship. We call it family. It was brought up on another show that I happen to be watching. And during my time I've been home. And they talked about how, specifically about Remy, how people have said that they've had so-and-so, there have been people in Remy's organization that said he was like a father to them, and somebody else commented, well, we got to get rid of that idol worshiping. Why is it idol worshiping? I want to talk about that. Because Filipino culture is different. And here's the things, I'm gonna do this here. This is the last comment we're going to read unless something comes up crazy. I don't know why I chose Kung Fu, especially Southern, because it's all I could afford, and they were related to the TV series. Booyah!
You might have dated yourself there, Lee. No,
there you go.
Great. Yes, absolutely.
That was awesome.
We love that show.
But there's been a lot of people who've said a lot of things about Professor after he passed. And there's some people I plan on, and if you're listening, if any of you are listening right now, and you've said negative things about Professor, I want you to understand that maybe that was a you thing or a you two thing, not necessarily an everyone thing. And I do plan on sending a letter to one particular person who talked about how Remy allegedly wasn't a good man or whatever, and the things that came out of her mouth is completely opposite of others. Now, here's what I will say, and I wrote this up. Someone made some negative comments about Charlie Kirk. I do not defend Charlie Kirk publicly, although he did pop up in my feeds. I liked what I was hearing, but like all of us, I don't play every single post he's ever had. I've never seen every little clip. What shows up with my analytics, he seemed to be an okay kind of guy, although I see how he could be sometimes interpreted as rude or abusive. But then again, I'm also not into some of these focus groups, and ultimately no one had to debate him if they didn't want to, but that's a whole other topic in itself. But no one should be killed in our country for expressing their First Amendment right of freedom of speech. Yep. No one. And people made some negative comments about Charlie Kirk after he passed, talking about publicly why he should burn in hell. And then there was comments about, what about George Floyd? Somebody said something about George Floyd. I go, I never said anything about either person. If I had a problem with both sides, both of these people, I would never say a word about it publicly, because they left people behind that love them and now miss them. I will not tarnish someone's memory. And when people talk about Remy and they don't consider that their relationship was unique and maybe the problems were between them, it could have been Remy, it could have been them, it could have been, they were just like, the two of them just didn't jive. Ty doesn't understand why people don't like me at times, personally. But he's seen things unfold right in front of him. But if I wasn't a good guy, Ty wouldn't be hanging with me and vice versa. We wouldn't be doing the show together. I can be very cool with people, and they mention someone's name, and I met some sports jiu-jitsu guys this weekend, and they brought up one of our old classmates, and I did not say anything negative about the old classmate.
Yeah, you
did mention that they were my junior, that they were my juniors, okay. But I never said anything that they sucked or idiots or whatever.
You're pretty consistent about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I think people get in the thing where, everybody, you're either 100% with them or against them. And so people like to demonize it. You're not, and so they don't have a good perspective in terms of, hey, this is a human being. There might be something going on there, or maybe they express themselves differently than you were expecting, or vice versa.
And just when I said I wasn't going to share anymore, Eric shows up as we're leaving the show.
Eric. All right. Okay. Good show. Okay. See everyone.
Literally, we're leaving Eric.
Yep.
I see him on Wednesday nights. He comes to class or virtual.
All right. That is funny. We went a little later, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It was good to have
real quick
set of questions.
Where are you teaching right now?
Me?
Yeah. How do people get a hold of you?
Oh, well, get a hold of me on Facebook, of course. My email, which is thai@kungfu.cc. I have the YouTube page, and I'm going to release a new video here. An old video, but another new one that hasn't been on there in a few weeks. But I live out here in Gettysburg, so I teach right now at the Amblebrook Community Center, and that's where I teach in Tai Chi. Although we're about to get ready to start and sort of have a martial arts club where I may be sharing some Arnis and Kung Fu, but that won't be my real Kung Fu class. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to home that. But I'm around there. You can get a hold of me pretty easily.
Right. And I'm up here in Buffalo, New York. And are you doing anything virtually yet?
No. Well, no. Although somebody asked, but no, I haven't set anything up.
Okay. Currently, I am. If people are interested in training, there is a virtual option, which would be you would log into classes that I'm already teaching. So it wouldn't be just hey, like what we're doing right now. You get to see how my class is running and how I teach and correct and all this other stuff. So, and then you're part of the dialogue because I'll watch you. You can ask questions. I don't charge for a training partner. So if you got someone that wants to swing sticks with you, that's because if you're doing it virtually, that is. All right. So we got that. Next week's show, we're going to talk about the relationship between people and the teachers. And then the second, we'll have more of that, but I know March 2nd or whatever it is, we've got Grandmaster Harry Green coming on, our first guest of the new year.
Yeah.
Unless we have someone last minute, but you never know. All right. Anything else you want to plug or?
No, I was tired when I started. I got some energy because of the good questions, but now I'm tired again.
Okay. All right. Well, hey. Second show, season 6, baby.
There you go. Season 6.
We've been averaging over 20 shows a year.
Just like a regular series.
Yep. I can't believe that people actually like this. Yeah. Excellent virtual. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, listen, as always, this is a pleasure for us to do what we do. And we're looking forward to more things going on. The world's getting smaller all the time, and a lot of it's through this because we get to meet new people, hang out, and talk about this. And Master Harry Green is very happy about that. Okay, so GM, we will see you in about 3 weeks if my math is right, and then we'll get some photos and stuff like that. All right. Well, listen, this is Dr. Tim and
PG Ty.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and stay sane.
Take care.